Hello everyone and welcome back to Disco Elysium. This is episode 12. Last time we crossed the waterlock and we've been doing it all without Kim. We discovered the hooligan. We discovered the hooligan driving this car. And the rain has now stopped and everything is now much quieter all of a sudden. The rain has now ceased and we discovered the hooligan's vehicle was none other than our own, and we found our badge in said car.
This is it, the scene of the party. The fire pit, cigarettes, and empty bottles all evidence it.
And there we go, and this is our lovely scene that we have set for ourselves in our drunken stupor, crashing our lovely little vehicle, and we have to struggle and deal with the shame of that one. So, in chimes logic. Yeah. Sure does look like a lot of folks partied here. Definitely not just me.
Looks like they were here a while, judging from all the bottles. The sunken motor carriage provided them a focal point, like a goose ice sculpture or a chocolate fountain.
Guess I'll be on my way. And there's some money for me, too. Alright. We had our lovely little tune that we whistled on our swing set as well. Just to, like, soak in what had happened while we let the waves go down. Seems the walker was either very confused or drunk out of his mind. Yes. How could he have done this? Alright, it's time for us to chat to some people over this side as well as investigate. So let's have a chat to this lovely individual here.
Hi, officer.
Lillian, the net picker. Aye, officer. A woman in a raincoat stands on the quay, considering an overturned boat. A sword in a scabbard hangs from her hip.
Anything I can help you with?
That depends. Where are we exactly?
A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium.
Elysium. Why?
The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place.
The wind rattles her earrings. Okay. I have questions. The first is, what's your name?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions, and that was actually the second one.
You are true.
Indeed, you're always confused as to your whereabouts.
Correct.
Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Where's the cool sword? Point at the saber on the hip. Oh, she's brandishing a weapon. Okay. Oh right. Lillian is one of our lovely people that needs the signature. Nice sword. Does it come with a story?
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly.
It is imposing.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation.
Why do you need intimidation tactics?
From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time.
Can I borrow that sword? Hey, can me, a man, steal your intimidation weapon that you are using to ward off men? Great question to ask there, Harry. And then also, why don't more women arm themselves if it's so effective? Probably because they're not really looking to kill people, they just want people to leave them alone.
What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that.
I love how we have behold, point to the expression on your face, which we no longer have anymore. Our expression is actually just that of a sad old man. True, most people I've met are scared.
Aye. No one wants to talk about how frightened they are. But only frightened people are really dangerous. And plenty of them are dangerous.
So where are all the men now?
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying.
Wait, why? If they're thick-headed?
Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
Her expression doesn't change. It's hard to say if it's a joke.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Where's your husband now?
Gone.
Gone where?
To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago.
That's bad. What happened?
Who knows? Maybe he fell over. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
I like that she's seemingly got, like, what is it? Like the, fish hook earring? Like 3 of them? She got like a couple of fish hooks in the ear?
She really likes those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sinewy.
Time really is the best cure for sorrow, isn't it?
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
She glances at the village where 2 little kids are playing with what looks like rocks.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Oh my god. Electrochemistry chiming in. Don't know a good spot yet. Explore the coast before suggesting a romantic date with the woman brandishing a sword, which actually is quite attractive. But we are not an attractive suitor right now. I'm rocking a bow tie. And goggles. With my tear bag. I'm really rocking a look right now. And my fingerless gloves. Is that your boat?
Sure is. The sun, I call her. Coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue.
Sunny days. Catch a snowflake in your palm.
Aye. Sunny days. You got a problem with that?
No, ma'am. No problem.
Good. It would have been bad news had it turned out it wasn't a sunny day. Bad news for the skiff, bad news for the nets, bad news for the kids.
Like her dry humour and subtle sarcasm.
There's a moment's silence. She looks at the slushy snow melt on the yellow belly of the boat.
When do you think the boat will be ready?
In time, when the sea turns and the winds settle, she will be ready.
Waves wash the sand. A skiff moves across the mirror-smooth sea, far away from here. A lone passenger, a fast sloop in the distance. White sails.
What do you do around here?
Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff.
What else?
I sell the fish to people in the Delta to serve at their fancy restaurants. Authentic Insular Indian cuisine.
Is that enough to make a living?
Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises.
Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her. This is what is called a conversation. You don't have to be guarded right now.
Interesting. What have you found?
Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once. Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass.
She's carrying drugs.
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely.
Oh, the game being self-aware of like, come on, man. It would be weird to say all of these dialogue options. Just choose one. This place looks bad. Why don't you leave? Probably because it's all that it's all that she has. A lot of people don't really have the luxury to be able to move. A lot of people have this mentality when they're like, well, why do they live there? It's because they don't have a choice. Human bodies, I mean, look, it's people get lost at sea. People get silly when they're out in the ocean. Yeah, the Pale might also be involved. Don't know what information I would really want to use with a mine, because she's talking about it as if it was a long time ago. A mine washed ashore once. Drugs could be an interesting point because it might be related to that little drug trade that's going on at the moment, but also the way that he goes about asking it is dumb. Major narc, give me the info on the drugs. I'm gonna ask question number 4 though. This place looks bad. Why don't you leave?
And go where? The fish are plentiful here and we get enough orders to get by. It's not great, but it's something.
Just somewhere away from all this sadness.
People imagine picking up and finding something better is an easy solution. But how is that supposed to work when all your time and energy goes to staying alive? You have almost nothing to set aside to actually fight your way out.
That's exactly what I was just talking about. People are like, why don't you just leave? Why don't you go somewhere better? It's like, because I physically cannot. You know, everyone has that. I would if I could. I can't. Everything right now is trying to keep my head above water. And a lot of people are in that situation.
Hordes of wild, homeless people roaming the lands. Nomads scattered across an endless plain. In a dystopian world where tear is the only valid currency. And people eat each other to stay alive.
Sounds like an apocalypse cop thought.
I don't mean to complain about my pauper life. We are warm and fed here and... I don't know. There's just something about this shithole.
A sudden gust of cold air blows in from the sea. The waves flow and ebb. Around you, the fishing village takes its slow and steady breaths. Its many wooden structures, worn by bitter years of salt and storm.
Why would anyone like it here?
It's home.
Okay. Now, in regards to the signature, I haven't given my decision thought yet. I'm not sure if I want to be fooling Everard with fake signatures or going through with the signatures. So I'm going to hold off for now until I really get more of a lay of the land. I feel like I might try and fool Everard by getting some fake signatures. We'll see how we go with that though. But I'm going to go with, I'm looking for someone, maybe you can help.
Let's see. Who are you looking for?
I'm looking for missing cryptozoologists.
I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate?
People who look for animals who are hard to find.
Aha! Like snowmen.
Snowmen? I haven't heard about those.
2 odd guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like.
I don't know if that's what I'm after, but that's an interesting little plot thread. Wait, the like?
Right. Not only snowmen, also green men, monkey men burning rhinos. You get the picture.
Do I get the picture?
Oh, you're getting it. And it is gorgeous.
Where did they go?
I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen?
That's it. I'm not looking for anyone else right now.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
Okay, so I guess when we need to find someone else, we can come here. Be seeing you. We will come back to this one. I'm gonna get some tear in this bucket. Okay. Just taking everyone's loose change, apparently. You can't see into the house from this angle. And it's locked tight, also, because we can't just go poking our head in people's houses whenever we want. The street sign is illegible below the graffito. Hard to see the details, the colours, all warm and welcoming. Cozy, though. A flower trough where nothing really grows, maybe in spring. Alright, we've got the kids here and someone else. Inside, you hear the cozy sound of some kind of heater sputtering. Washerwoman, the woman next to a bucket of clothes, hums an odd melody. Her eyes are closed.
You're not sure about the melody, but it might be South Samaran, possibly Sigayan, also known as the Apricot Suzunti.
Okay.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
I have cataracts. Alright, lean forward.
Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here. And we don't want any trouble either.
I'm a cop. I don't cause trouble, I take care of trouble.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Wish you did. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen.
Wait, I've been here before? Come on, man, don't take it literally. We're gonna play dumb and ask the stupid questions straight up. What kind of ill omen are we talking about?
Oh, the usual. Dark tidings. Black hound.
That's you, all right. A black hound licking your own heels.
Wait, I've been here before?
No, not you personally. I meant the RCM. Some of the men got into a fight. One of them killed another. Locked himself in that woodshed over there.
Oh wow. She points to the building behind her.
He was brooding, needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him and took him to think about what he'd done in a more secluded place. Somewhere more quiet.
She says it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat.
Wow. If I'm considered an ill omen, why hasn't anyone told me that?
Maybe they are afraid.
Why?
Because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here. As long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then. Because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor carriage. And not a lot of houses. Or a lot of people. My kids are long gone. Searching for treasure. So are others.
Don't worry, I found a parking spot for my car. It is tucked away safely and away from the village, so it shouldn't bother anybody. And don't worry about that.
Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us?
What is in this fishing village?
Just us. It's barely a village anymore. We almost don't exist.
What do you mean?
This is pretty much a non-place. A gap. A blank spot on the map. Just a cluster of nameless shacks on a nameless street.
The place is so pornographically poor, it's not even funny.
And then you say what comes into your brain. This place is pornographically poor. God damn it. There's got to be something here. Tell me.
Over there, you can find more of the same. Shacks and trees growing wild. That's the pox.
Between here and Jamrock, a dusty sea of old trees, all covered in industrial soot. Small houses under them, an overgrown park.
The parks? What's that?
An old military hospital and its surroundings. Or it used to be, during the time of the suzerain. After the war, it was turned into a goodwill hospital for shell-shock veterans and folks looking for some quiet in the old sanatorium gardens. Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless streets and makeshift cinder-block houses, shacks as far as the eye can see.
What happened to the hospital?
The goodwill ran out. The staff left and the place was shut down. It's long gone by now.
Who else lives in this village?
Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks live in the house to the east, but they're away right now.
A few new folks.
And then there's the drunks. Not a pretty sight, but there's little we can do about it. Home is home, even for them.
I met Lillian already.
Lillian is tough. Tougher than the men here, at least. If it wasn't for her and the kids, this place wouldn't have a spark of life left.
Haven't seen any drunks yet, though.
Sooner or later, you'll see for yourself. Don't have to look long to find these guys.
Is there a way to make a little money around here? I'm assuming just picking up the tab, baby.
Here? For you? No, officer. The only money we have here is some coins the drunks tried hiding from their women and then forgot about.
Oh, that's okay. I cleaned up their mess for them. I've got it now.
Under carts, boats, in little boxes. It's not hard to find.
Alright, there's another topic I'd like to discuss.
She nods, rinsing another piece of cloth.
What's further down the coast?
Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time, even.
Oh, why is it abandoned?
Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then. The ecclesiastics have tried to get things going there, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church.
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking.
I get the feeling you're leaving stuff out. What else is going on?
Well, there's that music. Music from across the sea. It started a few days ago, and now it's blasting even through the night. And now, suspicious-looking people are sneaking around the church. I don't like that.
Interesting.
Interesting. You could look into this ruckus if you have the time.
Okay. What else is on down coast?
Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses, empty.
Why isn't Everett deciding to build stuff over there? Why does he need signatures to build stuff right next to where people are living? Build it in where nobody is, and then make it a nice place. Which is it then? Apartments or electrical plant?
I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something. Before the war. I wasn't here then, you know. Was born in Samara.
Anything else of note?
Of note? The old fish market up on the boardwalk. But it's closed.
Who'd want to come to a fish market here? What do you mean? What kind of question is that? It's a fishing place. Fish market. You get fish. Who'd want to come to a fish market here?
No one. That's why it's closed. It was once a bustling place, back when I was young, and so was everyone else.
It seems like it would be bustling, you know?
Now, what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta or somewhere else.
That's it. There's got to be more along the coast.
What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End.
Land's End.
Used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible.
That's right. I'll sweet talk the door open. I got away with words.
And now you know everything there is to know about this coast.
Thank you so much, washerwoman. Tell me about yourself, though. Who exactly are you here?
Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me Isabel, if that's what you're asking. And my married name is Sadie.
Isabel Sadie.
Now it's your turn, Mr.
Lieutenant Double Yafreta Harrier de Boy.
Quite a handle you got there. So many titles. One of them, double.
Double Yafreta. Ah, so that would be what's on that part of the badge, the 2FR, I think.
She's got a couple of ranks herself. Honored chief and so on.
Ah, so she's the other one that we need the signature from. Okay. Where could someone stay around here?
Stay? Most people here are trying to leave. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack.
Her soapy thumb points to the building behind her. Free room in the shack. Ooh, I mean, not free, but free as in space free. How much is it, though?
I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM.
I could be saving 20 real now. I can fuck with that. I need to have a shower, though. And I think I need to do that in my room at the Whirling. I don't think there would be a shower in this establishment. I could take a dip in the lake. Makes me give him money every night. There's this guy, God, who makes me give him money every night just so I don't die out in the cold.
That's exactly how they get ya. That's why we built our own cinder block houses on the seaside. So we don't have to give money to those crooks. We might not look like much, but they are ours.
Wait, why isn't anyone using the room?
My kids grew up and left like they do. The house is long empty now. I live in the small side attachment. It's easier and cheaper to keep warm.
One more time. I can just have the room?
Aye. The room is pretty bare bones, but it's got a bed and roof over it. That's more than some folks have around here.
When Varson communist revolutionary Ignas Nielsen was in hiding, he stayed in a hut on the Boreal Plateau for 10 months.
Okay, let's have a look. It would help me stay in touch with the proletariat. This could be the first chapter of my rags to riches memoir. That's racist. And that is ultra liberal. I'm sure that taking the keys to another room would still allow me to, if I wanted to, go to the Whirling. So I'm gonna have that shower and stuff. I'm gonna go with number 2. This will be the first chapter of my rags to riches memoir.
Surely not the first one. So are you interested or not?
I was wondering if there would be an offer to be like, hey, like I'll give you some money each night, and it would just be like less than the Whirling. But there doesn't seem to be an option for that. If there was an option to give her some, I think I would have gone for that. But fuck it, she's persistent that we can just have the room, so I'll accept the hospitality. I need money. I only got 34 real. I need to spend it on board games, not rent. You got yourself a tenant. Get keys to your new home.
Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the police.
A key appears from under her apron. She hands it to you. And then it would be so rude of me to then go, hey, I need your signature. We need to swindle Everard. Goodbye. I'm off. Let's have a look at this key. Oh, it would be in our keys section. Key to basement apartment. Key to shack on the coast. Okay. So I guess that's in here.
The door has seen better days. The layer of paint has started to peel off due to the salt and wind from the sea. Even the lock looks slightly rusted.
Is this the shack that she was just talking about, though, with like the police dude that like locked themselves in there? 'Cause she said the shack behind her, which seems to be this one.
The key turns with a satisfying click. You can enter the shack now.
Okay. Let's head in. This is pretty cute. Ooh, Korojev jacket. +1 logic. New jacket. Old science fiction magazines, books about bird watching, an almanac from 39. You see the waves, the sea, a church. This intricate heat engine hums quietly, giving out a pleasant warmth. The floorboards creak under your step.
A brisk coastal wind still howls against the window of the shack. Occasionally, the waves crawl in under the foundation, producing a low hum.
Listen.
The room feels muffled, like you pulled your hat over your ears. Outside, it is cold and windy, but you're inside, and it feels safe and warm.
That's like genuinely one of like a really nice and comforting feeling, I feel, is like when you are near the ocean or like hearing like those waves and the wind, but like you're inside. There's just like something really comforting about that feeling. Like it takes me back to some very nostalgic memories of like when you're sat in the car and you're eating some food at the beach or something like that, and it's just like this, you're inside and it's like cozy, but also you get the waves, and I don't know, the beach is a really comforting place, whether you're outside or inside, but this feeling of being inside while you can like hear it is relatable.
What is this place to you?
Not the voices, though. Not the voices in your head. Jesus. What is this place to you? My new hangout where I could silently sit, drink, and die while looking at the waves roll in. My forward base for the coastal part of this operation. It's free, that's good enough. I could live here. And looks like this is my new home. Wonder where the old one went. Yeah, we never got that because we had the thought about our old house that popped into our head, and then we realized that we don't live there anymore. That was like a previous address. Looks like this is my new home. Wonder where the old one went.
Westward, across the canal, towers the whirling in rags. Door number 1 on the second floor is locked. Behind it lies a trashed room. 1 floor below, behind a counter, stands an irritable man.
Ah, God.
In a small shack in the fishing village, a baroque heater hums quietly, emanating a sense of comforting warmth. A wash basin lies on the table, the water inside reflecting the somber face of the world.
I like the detail on the table where it's got like the hand mirror and like the razor.
Far away, on the corner of Perdition and the Main, a nondescript building, obscured in a haze. It's vacant and lost, just like its tenant.
Huh. Thank you, Strange Sensation, for a fair assessment of the current situation, and no wait, I changed my mind. I want to choose again. Thank you, Strange Sensation, for a fair assessment of the current situation.
Outside, the howl of the wind has picked up. The waves crash against the stilts again. It's as if you think the thought, but in someone else's voice.
Look under the floorboards.
When we heard that floorboard creak, that was like my first thought, was wondering if we were going to be able to like check under the floorboards. The fact that we've got a voice popping in saying so makes it even more interesting. How do we look under the floorboards? We got a mirror here, which is probably, if we still had the expression, another way to try and get rid of it.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, such as it is, without the expression. It's just hairy.
Hairy Harry.
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
Dude, we can actually shave. We can get the mutton chops off. We can get them off. Is shaving the right call?
The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair unkempt, wrinkles lining the eyes and forehead. The stash is gigantic.
A stash. Kim goes away for like one day and we go and have this sense of self-discovery, get a new house, shave our mutton chops off. Oh my god. Let's first wash the smell of death off myself. So we can use this wash basin instead of the shower at the Whirling.
Scrubbing all the necrotic tissue off your hands takes a while. The fingernails are especially hard. Death has made its way into every nook and cranny. But man persists. And finally, your bruised hands look clean and presentable. Sort of. The sudden absence of the morbid dead tissue smell is uplifting.
Alright. We have a 58% chance, but we can increase our hand-eye coordination, I believe, with one thing. So I'm going to try and do that. Let's have a look at this jacket. This swanky checkered jacket flatters your form in a way that makes you feel the fun kind of serious. It has a really nice, roomy pockets too. Logic, checkmate. Okay, hang on. Hand-eye coordination, I believe we do have. Where am I? Oh, never mind. Interfacing. Do we have hand-eye coordination clothing? I thought we did. Maybe I don't. I actually don't. Okay. Well, let's try it, and then I've got a skill point that I can level it up anyway. We're shaving the mutton chops off. Oh my god!
A rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
It's an opportunity to become a new man, and every time a man shaves, they are filled with a wallowing sense of self-pity and regret until it grows back. I shaved off the mutton chops after a couple of episodes. Harry must do the same.
Your hand
Ooh!
at your cheek. Oh no, that's not how a grown man shaves.
That's not how a grown man shaves. Oh, we failed. Leave it for now.
Thank God, I would have cut your throat.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, if that's a failure, let's try again. Our hand-eye coordination at 3. Let's learn that skill point. Why is our reaction speed? Oh yeah, because of what we're wearing. And our endurance, again, low. Our endurance isn't even a minus, it's just a 2. How pathetic. Or I think it's a -1. I think it's lower because we've taken some damage as well, right? I should probably buy some health-related charges. Set of tracks is there. Alright.
On the table, you see a
72%.
a rough soap,
Let's shave!
a small hand, like an artist with a brush or a master swordsman. You use the small mirror and the straight razor with some soap to remove all that unkempt hair from below the nose line. The sharp blade.
Oh! My
reduces
portrait!
scratch and sound.
That looks so
The
awful.
surface underneath the beard feels tender. The air brushing against it, chilly.
Oh, I look miserable and clean-shaven. I told you. When you shave a beard filled with regret, you're like, not that part of my face. Why couldn't I have kept the stash, you know? I wish you could have chosen how you wanted to shave. I would have kept the stash, removed the chops. I wish to be a stash cop. God damn it. Feel your clean-shaven cheeks and feel that regret, son. Every man has to shave and feel that regret, and it's Harry's time.
They feel so smooth, surprisingly so. A feeling of freshness overcomes you, as if you just came from a cold bath.
We did heal our health, though. Was shaving the right call?
The water reflects back a vague image of your clean-shaven face. Despite the bulbous nose, unkempt hair, and persistent swelling, you look a little younger, maybe.
I'm excited for what Kim may say about this.
You almost look like a professional.
Hell yeah, now we just gotta fix the hair.
Your face, such as it is, a regular human face, sans expression.
No expression. What does my character model look like now? The character model looks quite nice. It's just the portrait. It's bad. Let's have a look at our little guy over here. I wonder if it's going to grow back. I'd hope that it would grow back. That would be awesome. I would like to be able to... It would be nice if you could style your hair. I would love to have chosen a hairstyle, and I would have gone for a moustache.
An old mirror hangs on the wall.
Clean shaven it is.
The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest.
No time for rest yet. I was not going to go to sleep anyway. Well, there you go. That's my new room, and I've emerged a new man. Can't believe I just shaved my character.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
I'm off for now. Gotta get to know more of the town. And now that I've gotten rid of my mutton chops, I will look very professional and approachable. Let's have a look in here. Getting all the tear so I can get some more money. Construction material. Whoever planned to build this house left in a hurry. Nice. So look over here. Man, we are cleaning these streets. We are cleaning these streets. Look at this. Look at this. Look at all these bottles. This is where the money is. This is a lucrative endeavor right now. Check me out. And then I think, because it has a price of 10, right? And I want to try this. If I put on my money boots and I want to pick up some tear, I believe maybe it's when we sell it. I think we can get more money with these shoes on.
A drop in temperature, an easy flow of air, an empty street. Before you, a thoroughfare unjammed with lorries. No more drivers smoking on hitch steps. Just silence.
What did the smoke smell like?
Chemically sweetened. Across the road, a forgotten bus stop. Corrosion has opened a hole in its roof. An elm tree watches over the building. Its branches are dripping with rain and snow. The road is smooth and motley. Craters filled with a black asphalt. The asphalt, first laid, is grey already. A row of tenements are under construction in the distance.
I really like the shivers checks that are coming in. They're really nice because that's just like... it feels... while I like conceptualization and really like taking the world and viewing it from an artistic perspective, I like the one that comes in from just like a Shivers perspective, for lack of a better word, is, that just like the feelings you get of the world. There's moments where you get caught in a feeling or a thought about what's going on around you. Is really, really cool. I like this. I like the Shivers checks a lot. Who are the people who live across the road?
A tub warm with water, white with soap. A man bathes while radio waves transmit the lottery numbers. 4, 18, 21, 4, 1. A modern washing machine rattles a drawer full of silverware.
The lottery numbers.
His boyfriend is on his way home. He brings tins of meat and vegetables with him. Their pockets are heavier with money, but only slightly.
What about the bus stop?
Number 312D. Young girls used to come here, huddled up, hoping for more warmth than their thin coats give them. The bus took them to school. It has not run for 8 years. There were not enough girls to sustain its cost.
What about the road?
Craters pocked the surface. Children played in them until heavy trucks full of black pitch rolled in. The landowners have filled the craters with money. It is a vital artery of the flow of trade. There's one bump on the road. A dead dog lies flat about 200 paces away, right at the turn.
Dead dog?
Tragedy comes from the wheels of a fast RCM vehicle, hurrying to work. The cold washes over you. The sound of the sea has grown distant.
Harry didn't fucking run over a dog, did he? On his way here, hurrying to work? Harry didn't run over a dog on his way here, did he? That is enough.
The wind moves the aerosol. A detective stands behind the boom barrier. A breeze moves a curl of his hair.
I'm not sure what keeps happening where my inventory pops up with like a new item, but then there isn't one. I'm not sure what's happening there. So that's happened a couple of times now. This like is like new item and I open it and there's nothing new. Not sure about that. Where's this? Oh, okay. Can I go around this thing? Can I go over here? I think this is a barrier. Oh, there you go. It's the fog. I cannot see. Okay. Hello, guys. You don't mind if I clean up your mess over here, do you? I gotta take this and get some cash. I'm just gonna slowly pick all of this up. Hang on. It's right at my feet. Any more? The bushes are too thick and thorny to pass through. Ah, so I'm at like a dead end. Alright, cool. I'll talk to these boys and then the kids on my way back. Let's have a chat to some fellas. They're drunks, I assume.
Good to see you, friend. Do I have deals set up for you, buddy boy?
Do I have deals set up for you, buddy boy? He spreads his arms as if wanting to embrace you. Rosemary.
Does he actually know you? Or is he just shopkeep friendly?
Well, considering our drunk driving escapade earlier, I have a feeling that these drunks may indeed know who we are if there was a party that took place around the crash with a bunch of bottles and footsteps, that Harry might have had a drunk entourage. So, you know, we may know each other with some drunken amnesia history preventing us from being aware of it. Good to see you too, friend.
So what do you want? I got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I got Pilsner. Great deal. You won't get a better deal on that piss. Spirits I can let go for 300 real. I also have speed. And by speed, I mean amphetamine.
Well, I do need to get some of that, don't I? But also, god damn it, is it... -1 morale, but a +1 to psyche and motorix, which is actually pretty good. Potent Pilsner, +1 for Sig, because it's alcohol. Pack of smokes, which I think we already have, so that's okay. The Blue Medicinal Spirit, 300 real. What is that going to do? That's just like an instant win the game. That's a lot of money. Why does the bottle of spirits cost 300 real?
See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business venture.
Okay. Nod, let him speak.
You know, it's funny, actually.
then takes 3 gulps of his Pilsner and stares at you intently.
He's finding it difficult to focus his watery gaze.
What is?
What?
Keep him talking.
What do you mean, what? What did you think was funny earlier?
This guy.
Conversation might bring a discount, no?
Yeah, okay. Where did you get the bottle of spirits from?
Oh, this is medicinal spirits. The good stuff. Got it from the doctor's office.
Got it straight from the doctor's mouth, I did.
I got one of those scientific ampoules a few months ago. Torpedo, they call it. It's supposed to keep a man from taking a drink.
And then he spits a nasty yellow clot on the ground before you.
Didn't stop me for shit, that's for sure. 5 lemons with half a pack of butter and you're good to go.
That's a good tip. I should remember it.
It really isn't. In a week, the goddamn kidneys started giving me all kinds of help. Finally, the missus took me to a private doctor's office. Not a charity, the real thing. Those arseholes charged me £4 to remove the damn thing. But I came out on top after all.
Have they no shame taking money for a service they provide?
But the idiots left me alone in there. Now, I used to teach high school biology. I know what doctors use to preserve dead thingies.
Dead thingies.
Swipe 3 cans of this blue medicinal stuff from the back room. Threw the snakes out and voila. What's left is this beautiful blue stuff. 98.7% almost pure alcohol.
Threw out the snakes.
2 I already sold to these fine gentlemen here. But this last one is yours for £3 if you want it.
This man doesn't even know what he's saying. Can I smell it first?
Yeah, be careful. It's extremely flammable. One spark and the entire city of Revachol is wiped off the map.
Okay.
Feels like someone set a mustard field ablaze right inside your nose, then drenched it in tear gas. Your nose is a singular source of pain, but at the same time you don't remember the last time you felt so alive. In all fairness, that might be attributed to the retrograde amnesia.
So, what's the deal, friend? Want the spirits or not?
Well, for 3 real, I think it will prove useful. Yes.
£3 and it's yours, friend. The deal of a lifetime.
Yeah, fuck you, alright. That was a good conversation. Knocked 297 real off the price, I'll take it.
That's a much more reasonable price right there. Makes sense now.
It does make sense now. Here's the money for the spirits.
Just make sure to enjoy that one, friend.
Yeah, I will. I'll look at it, but questionable drink, that. Had some snakes in it. 97% alcohol. We'll see. Friend, do we know each other?
Sure, friend. You know it.
Points her finger pistol at you and squeezes the trigger. I don't know, I feel like we got some drunken history when I maybe had my gun before I pawned it.
Don't mind old Rosemary here.
Idiot doom spiral. Whoa.
Let's have a word after your high concept transactions. I'll give you the lowdown.
Wow. Idiot doom spiral. Look at this portrait. That's really cool. Have a word after your high concept transactions. Amphetamine.
Aye, by amphetamine I mean speed.
I thought by speed you meant amphetamine.
Aye, that's what I said.
Right, got it.
Good, my man. Now what can I offer you?
Quite the business venture you've set up here.
Oh, the system's been good to old Rosemary here, and I'm milking her like a bitch goat in the backyard.
What do you mean?
You see, friend, man makes his own luck, and I made mine real good. Got my hands on 3 bottles of liquor ex-squeeze, sold 2 to the fellows around here, and immediately invested the profit. Bought cigarettes, bought beer, even bought a bit of speed. And look at me now, I got everyone on my hook.
Point to his vice stand. Looks like you're on your own hook too.
Of course. It is what it is, you know. What it's always been. People, buddy boy. It's the people.
I'll hold off on getting the speed for now. we'll see how we go. Because, where is this? Oh, interesting. Spirit is eternal is a task here. The horrific necktie is getting ready for the end game. For the love of God, do not remove it till the magic happens. Oh God, I've already removed my necktie. Maybe I'll need to stick my necktie back on. I got a bow tie on. How dare I? We'll see. What is the speed? Find speed and sniff it. The hangover is coming on mega strong now. You need more speed in your bloodstream. Find it, put it in your hand, and off we go. Yeah, we'll see about that. Alright, I'm off.
In the civilized world, it's a custom to tip the shopkeep, friend. But come back anyway.
He waves you off. Alright, let me get this necktie on. I wonder if there would have been a necktie-related thought popping up in the middle of getting this spirit.
The legend! He's back!
And thirsty.
I got smokes, and piss, and a little speed to spice things up.
I'm off. He's upside down. Don't call Abigail, grumbles an unshaven man with a ruddy nose. He narrows his eyes at you as if in recognition, then turns his head away.
The noxious odor emanating from the drunken man is strong and familiar.
Strong and familiar.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call Abigail!
Who's Abigail?
Uh-huh. Abigail. Don't you fucking call Abigail.
Abigail is his wife or girlfriend. Chances are she's gone. Calling her wouldn't make it any better or worse. You're not going to get anything out of this guy. He's too drunk.
Okay.
Never thought you'd see such a thing in your life. But this guy's a little too drunk.
We're going to poke him for information anyway, because why not? Who are you? What's your name?
Don't call Abigail!
Okay. Where am I? What is this place?
The man hiccups, then mumbles something unintelligible.
Why shouldn't I call Abigail?
He snorts and beckons you to lean in closer.
I feel like I'm going to get a mouthful of burp in my ears. Lean in.
Don't call Abigail. Don't call Abigail.
Tell me about your friends.
Don't you fucking call her. Hear me?
He whimpers in the end. Walk away.
Don't call Abigail.
Okay, buddy. He's gone. Let's speak to the track-suited fella.
Hey, Tequila!
A 30-something man clad in a two-piece Lycra TM tracksuit puts down his Pilsner and extends his hand in greeting.
Good to see you. How's business? How's the whole reality situation treating you?
I'll shake his hand.
So what's happening?
He picks up his beer. Wait, tequila?
Yeah, Tequila Sunset. How are the, high-concept, reality-based adventures proceeding?
He says it like it's obviously your name. Like you call someone Billy Brunel or leader of the 4th Street Gang.
Was I a drunken idiot roaming around calling myself Tequila Sunset?
Good. These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later.
More on that later. Interestingly enough, I think a lot of if we flashback, we'll go back to when we were not aware of what our true name was, and we were trying to like land on something, and I think it was constantly like warm golden colors, like it was going for like I think like amber and like golden sort of. That's like the general gist, I believe, when we were trying to like our name is like a color, and it's that kind of color. Tequila Sunset is very much in that descriptive framework, I believe. So that's quite interesting. I wonder if that was our drunken subconscious trying to recall, our name had something with that variety in it. And now I think we may be learning that maybe that's a name that we gave to ourselves before the game began.
I like
like this guy, you should too. He respects you by calling you your true name.
Yep, the horrific necktie is chiming in, so it's a good thing I put it back on, but I may have missed horrific necktie talking about the spirits. Not too hot. I'm on a 50-year losing streak. Reality makes me aggressively sad. Don't know. People tell me I'm a cop. I'm getting used to that. I've re-entered reality to conquer it, to bend it to my will. Reality. It's perishing. Soon only glowing embers will remain of the atoms. Of human faces, only echoes. This is definitely related to our cop situation, I think. Superstar apocalypse, sorry and boring. In some way, shape, or form. There's definitely an apocalypse cop in here and a superstar cop in here. There's definitely some boring and sad cop in here too. I'm going to go for this one though. Reality? It's perishing. Soon, only glowing embers will remain of the atoms. Of human faces, only echoes.
Only echoes remaining of human faces? That's a pretty good apocalypse. I wouldn't mind if it came down to that.
He nods appreciatively and picks at his shit-stained Lycra TM jacket.
Things aren't going super well for Idiot Doom Spiral either. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies.
Haven't found those keys yet. Takes a sip from his beer.
This guy's your buddy. You feel it immediately. You belong to an organization, a fraternity of drunks.
Oh, could you and your pals sign this document? Interesting. What do you guys do around here?
We are saving the world.
Please don't go.
Begs the man in the pipe.
Go.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. But that didn't work out. So now, it's a pirate's life for me.
What is a tequila sunset? You keep saying it.
It's you. Your tequila sunset.
How do you know this?
We've met before. Don't you remember?
Yeah. There you go.
No, you sure don't.
Maybe?
Maybe. You look like you want to know how Tequila Sunset came to be. You look like you want to hear the tale.
Give it to me straight, Doc.
Tequila Sunset. Something ominous there.
For some reason, the name Tequila fills me with foreboding. Maybe I shouldn't learn what it means. Go ahead. My curiosity is piqued.
Let me take a sip to moisten up my chords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday, and by Tequila Sunset, I mean you. The man, the myth.
Wait, did we meet on Friday?
Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting. You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get piss drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept, if you ask me.
We know that he's telling the truth because this story has been corroborated already.
Does that sound like something you'd do? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it happened. What happened then?
It was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling.
Oh, yes, you do, Bratushka. The only thing better than that is putting the pedal to the metal after you kiss the tie. And off we go.
Oh my god.
One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs.
Oh god.
Do you remember the sound of wood cracking? The billboard?
Yeah.
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in.
Naturally.
Anyway, there was a brief silence. A gasp of silence, if you will. Followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic. What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach. You revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs, "The time hath come!"
Yep.
So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come. To which you replied,
Tequila Sunset, baby.
"The time hath come for Tequila Sunset, the end of all things."
Every word I said was true. Tequila Sunset will break the looms of reality.
Yeah, looms. Why not? Then you jammed the pedal and plowed right off the jetty and through the ice. We ran towards the ice whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit, like some kind of sea monster. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep. Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to. We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on.
Wait, so was Tequila Sunset an event or a name?
I think you said that you were the event, and that you would smash the looms of reality. Yeah, I knew I'd heard that looms line before.
So I actually wonder if we start pushing and going along with this, that we're just kind of like renaming ourselves. I wonder also if we were having this conversation or doing a lot of this stuff without finding or figuring out our own name first, our real name. It makes it feel like there's points of the game where you could just decide to give yourself a name or name yourself something. Because if we just wait till Wednesday without speaking to Everard, we can get over here without getting our last name from Everard. We could probably avoid even inspecting or digging deeper into the trash to find our clipboard. It's very interesting the amount of opportunities I've seen in this game so far to have a completely different experience. And I think that's so cool how you can decide to go through this game by being like only an apocalypse cop, only a superstar cop, being completely communist or fascist or otherwise. Like there's so many ways that you can approach this, even by specifically delaying certain events in the game as well, which is super bizarre. Like crazy how you could probably structure future playthroughs of the game, you know? I'm going to tell him my real name. I feel like we've got a rapport. He needs to know. Tequila Sunset is my alter ego, but my real name is Harry. Very boring in comparison.
No, that's just what your mother called you. Your real name is Tequila Sunset. Just embrace it, brother.
Alright, Doom Spiral, you're right. How long did we party for, though?
Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women.
Okay. I'm sure this was a delightful conversation.
How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying anything.
Oh, Harry did the thing where he got really, really blackout drunk, did some crazy destructive things, and then landed on the ex-girlfriend mentality and got sad. He started reminiscing after he got sad about the one who left him. Now that's a story.
It was the greatest thing this fishing village has seen since Rosemary tried to use a crab to open his beer.
Aye, that was a classic too.
Fucking hell. Alright, we got a lot going on here. Okay. Let's just run through it in order. Did I tell you anything specific about this person that fucked me?
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked too.
Oh.
Please.
Ah! Let me heal this health. This conversation is damaging our health and our morale real quick.
No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
That you do, Rosemary.
Abigail.
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit.
Idiot Doom Spiral, you are a genius. Are you also a psychologist in your spare time? Did I mention losing anything else? Like a gun?
Beside your gun and your badge? You said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a big one.
That is a big one. Did I say anything about my colleagues?
You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style.
It's more like you were cramping theirs.
Maybe.
No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show.
Okay. Did I say anything about the case?
Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now.
Doing it solo. Taking a week to do it, too. Did we talk about, politics?
Yeah, you kept talking about how the coal mine owners were fucking us all over, just like that woman fucked you. I didn't agree with you, by the way. The spectral hand of the market makes sure everyone gets exactly what they deserve.
Did you get a read on what kind of cop I was?
You kept calling yourself a goddamn superstar who'd cleared 501 cases.
Superstar cop?
As you've already determined, the actual number is just over 200. But what's a little embellishment between friends?
No thanks to the squares at the precincts, as you put it.
I don't need to hear anymore.
It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs.
You seem like you're characterized by your storytelling ability. Want to tell me another one sometime?
Whoop-de-doo. So now I'm a fucking storyteller. Right. Why not? Better than a beach bum.
Yes. You want to tell me how you became Idiot Doom Spiral?
It depends, really. Are you willing to help me out?
Eye for an eye?
The gleam in his eyes and the slouch in his posture is so incredibly familiar.
Okay.
You might get scammed here.
Oh. I have a feeling that this is going to cost me a lot.
No, the reality of the situation requires a rather modest contribution. A little motivational package.
You want booze, don't you?
I don't want it, man. I need it. Can't tell stories without it. Dry stories are boring, you see?
Okay.
So, have you got anything for good old Idiot Doom Spiral? A bottle for a story. Seems fair to me.
Ooh. Interestingly enough, I wonder if the alcohol, the specific type of alcohol we give to Idiot Doom Spiral, influences the type of story we're going to get. We can give him Commodore Red, we can give him the Blue Medicinal Spirit. I'm sure if we obtained some Pilsner, that would also be an option. I feel like the drink may influence the story. We have an option to say, don't do it now, because part of me is curious to see if that's actually right. I don't want to give you any of my alcohol. I might have more use for it.
That very well might be the case, but looking at you, I can say with great confidence that I needed more.
And then maybe if we could probably give him the alcohol in sequence to get those stories. I don't know if there's going to be a better use for that medicinal alcohol, so we'll see. For now, I'm going to say be seeing you.
You too, Tequila Sunset.
And we'll come back to this one. We'll come back to this one later, because these boys are very interesting to talk to. But we'll come back to them later because it's getting late. It's 9:15, and I think it's probably a good idea to have a chat to the kids before they go to bed, so we can get some more information before we check out the rest of this village.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old.
Lillian's twin.
The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth.
Okay, we got twin brothers. You must be Lillian's twins.
This one doesn't say anything, kicking the concrete with his worn-out sneaker.
Lily's our mum.
Explains the other one, tongue still lolling out of his mouth. I already said that.
The stone kicker laughs suddenly. His head is too large for his shoulders. The other one laughs as well. Wow, so intellectually stimulating.
You guys look identical.
The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of. The obvious fact that you just stated.
He looks just like me.
Yeah, I said that.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock. Both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt.
Okay, bye kids. That was a very stimulating conversation that we've just had. Thank you for that. Okay, let's go in here. What's in here? Oh. It feels safe and warm in here. Not like outside. Industrial coal pellets burn with an orange glow. That kid's humming the music that's in the game. Yeah, the kid's humming the one of the pieces of music that plays when we've been just like walking through the town. I recognize that specific hum. Oh, well, I can just take this ruffed grouse taxidermy if I want. Just steal. Suppose I've just stole some taxidermy.
Hello, mister.
Little Lily, a young girl, barely 4 or 5 years old, sits on the sofa. She is looking at you with frank curiosity.
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
What is this? Show her the stuffed bird you took from the ceiling. Are you Lillian's daughter?
Yes, I am. Little Lily. You know my mom?
Yeah, we met earlier.
That's nice. My mom is great. She's never angry or anything.
Are the twins outside your brothers?
Yes. They don't want to play with me. They're older and play outside. They look the same. Sometimes I can't tell them apart.
They look identical, right? I said the same thing.
They look identical.
What's that thing you're holding?
It's Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of. Like...
She holds the fuzzy beast up to demonstrate.
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
Lammy looks soft.
Yes. Very soft.
Press your cheek against Lammy.
Isn't he soft?
She's right. Lammy is very soft. She rubs the white fur against your cheek, then returns the lamb into her lap, cuddling it. It's a good thing I shaved, so I don't get any of my weird, dirty beard hair in that toy. What's this? Show her the stuffed bird you took from the ceiling.
It's a grouse.
Smiling broadly.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you replace the broken skewer you almost certainly broke.
That's what I was thinking that was going to be used for. Yes, but what's it for?
I don't know.
Okay. Can I have it? I know someone who really likes stuffed birds.
Sure. I mean, you already took it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry.
I was just like, I mean, you did already take it. Goodbye.
Bye.
Curious eyes remain fixed on me. Okay. Nice. Well, I'm going to go give Gart a bird. And then he'll be like, you know what? This gesture is so kind of you. You can also stay here for free. You now have 2 places to live if you so wish. Oh, but there is more money to be obtained by the tear. And then I'm wondering about when I should be going to sleep. I'm thinking what I might do is I'm gonna pull a late one. I'll pull a late one because it seems that I should just be able to go back to this house to sleep whenever I so wish. It'll allow me to maybe, potentially, if I want to, internalize a thought. I could potentially internalize a thought and pass some time while doing so. I'm not sure which one, but I'll take a look. We've got some thoughts, though. Rust-eaten letters say Mazout. Mazout. A little black swallow circles above you. You hear it chirp. There's also a thought over here. Let's go have a look at this. Looking back at you from the rust-coloured water. You. The rear tyre of a motor carriage adorns these reeds. So, oh, quick travel unlocked to the church. Okay, so that's us moving into a new spot now on the map. Let's have a look. Okay, so we're now up here. I'm gonna stay in this area for a little bit before we move out into the church. I think before I do too much traveling without Kim, I would like to make sure that I still have Kim with me, you know? So I'm not gonna push up too far. I'm just taking a look ever so close around the edges, skirting the edges. Even though there's a lot to take in. Ah, could this be our cryptozoologist? This could be our cryptozoologist. There's some traps being laid out here of the cryptozoology kind. Tiny cages carefully constructed. These are our snowmen finders, maybe? These soggy logs smell of ignition fluid. Still, they won't light up. It's almost impossible to get a fire going near this ocean. These heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes, crumbling. A buoy bobs in the water. The number on it says 11.
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way, being so close to the water.
While Kim's not here, I think talking to the cryptozoologists, might be a good idea, because Kim doesn't like that sort of thing. He's like, this is boring. I feel like he just needs to open his mind up a bit. Maybe if he listened to some cryptozoology tales, he'd actually be like, you know what, that was fun. But at surface level, we made a promise to him to not go into the cryptozoology stuff, so we can probably do it while he's not here. What is this about?
Nothing. Just a hunch. The hunch passes, leaving you there, by the old boy bobbing in the water. Time to go.
Are you sure? Interesting. See, that's definitely some tear on the ground, but I can't pick it up. It doesn't get highlighted. How bizarre. What's this? Money. More money left by drunks. No boat in the boathouse today. Ooh, oversized superstar sunglasses. Excuse me, savoir-faire, but no visual calculus. New glasses unlocked. Is your own stardom too dazzling for your eyes? Can't bear to look at your own fabulous reflection in the mirror? Then these classic oversized sunglasses are for you. Oh, they are massive. They are massive. I do like having a bit more empathy, though. Dazzling reflexes, and the mirror lies. Okay. The boathouse is shoddily constructed. A strong breeze might blow it over. There's a lot to take in around this area. Ancient paint is peeling off the roof of this shaded bench covered in rust. The sign says, "Entree into date." An old ticket taker booth, no longer in operation. People paid money to park here? No one would pay now. We got another wall to do some visual calculus on. Some conceptualization. Let's take a look at this wall.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Yeah. We've seen this on the map. It's like a firing line. They lined people up here to get shot. Seems to be the very clear and obvious sort of visual statement here. Bullet holes in the plaza, bullet holes in the backyard, know about the revolution, and still 28%. I mean, it should seem obvious what it is, Harry, but maybe I'll bump up my visual calculus a bit before you figure it out. Even more bullet holes. Something has definitely happened here.
The density and spread of these bullet holes is surprising. This takes a lot of bullets. Fully automatic rifle fire.
Okay, hold on. Visual calculus. Let me take a look at my inventory. It's currently nothing. Have I got anything that can increase it? Our conceptualization. Yes. There we go. Some neat office shades. Ah! The commander's jacket. Makes us very much into the visual calculus. Okay, it's on a +2. Let's try that.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
I wonder, because it talks about bullet holes in the plaza, bullet holes in the backyard, and knowing about the revolution, that there may potentially be more clues around here to get some +1s on. So let's continue to have a look around and see if Harry gets any more information, while also cleaning up the streets. There is money to be obtained. This door is not only barred shut, it is inaccessible. Ooh, found Peepo. We can relate to Kuno S now. We can wear ourselves a Peepo. Yep, it is. Look, I'm in with it. I'm wearing a Peepo now. The small wire framing inside this futuristic-looking found Peepo hat gives it the aerodynamic shape of a swoop skier's helmet, but none of its protective qualities. Covers the wearer's ears and eyebrows to bring down the drag coefficient. Ultimate peak focus, +2 logic, and eyes on the road, -1 perception. The dead body of a grouse stuffed with some unknown material. From a distance it might just pass off as the real thing. The bird itself looks extremely ruffled and slightly grumpy. Here we go. So we can sell this for 6 real. The liquid has an unearthly blue tint, the kind that might or might not, but definitely does glow in the dark. This is 98.7 pure alcohol. Keep it away from an open flame. I have a feeling that maybe that alcohol that we've obtained may make for a good story from Idiot Doom Spiral. That might be a good use for it, but I'll hold on to it for now, because I don't think that story is necessarily going to be going anywhere, but we have also gained Pilsner now as well. So, +1 for Seeker Morale. A sturdy bottle of beer that tastes like piss. Not that you would know how piss tastes like, just a guess. The label says it's made in Revachol, the Lafayette Potent Brewery. So we could probably give that to Idiot Doom Spiral as well for a story if we so wish. Alright. 58%. I reckon we could do it, but there's probably more to glean from this place before we do so. So we can get the drunks to... We can also get the drunks to sign Everart's thing, or we can... I think that's what we'll do. This section of the coast hasn't been used in decades. It seems like a good plan to get the drunks to sign it, and Everart's going to be like, you know what? Who am I to question a signature, you know? I'm going to take a little bit of a break, though. All this talk about beer and piss makes me need to go take a piss, so I'll be back. Alright, let's take a look up here. Let's get this stuff up here before we chat to our cryptozoologist friends. See what other information I can glean before I check that bullet hole ridden wall. Bars cover long dusty windows.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D.
Okay, turn away. Maybe that'll mean something later, because we can only turn away from it right now. Another power box, it charges nothing now. It's empty. And the fence blocks the path, no way on from here. Okay. Maybe we'll have to... oh, hang on. Maybe we'll come back to this. Ooh! Ooh! Those are some items. There we go, a little tucked away.
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years.
Let's try and see inside.
Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase. There's rust and corrosion on the bars. They're foaming with it. And a small layer of white salt from the sea.
Finish thought. Okay. Ooh, we got a phone over here as well. What is this? There's an entrance. It is an entrance of some point. It is currently grayed out though, but there is an entrance over here. Let's go over here. Buzz, hum, the electricity flows through the wires with audible power. Someone must have worked hard to smash the plastic dome. Probably me. I'm just like, anytime I'm seeing damage around this place now, I'm just like, probably me. I probably looked at this and tried to call up my ex and bashed the plastic dome out of frustration. I would not even be surprised.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change.
Does the phone work? Pick up the handset. No dial tone?
You hear the tone.
Oh.
The machine is inoperable.
The machine is operable. For 10 cents, dial a random number. 005-24-03-155.
Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this?
Is a random number ever random? Is a random number you pull from your brain and subconscious ever random, or does it actually tie to something you may know?
End of tone. Someone picks up.
Pierre? Is that you, Pierre?
Oh no. Pierre? Is that you, Pierre? Oh no, we're about to prank call a grandma. Okay.
Yes, it's me, Pierre.
So nice of you to find the time to call me. It gets so lonely. Even the animals have died.
What kind of pets did you have?
Are you sure you're Pierre? Your voice, it's different. There. Chrysanthemum.
Her voice is drowned in white noise. Sounds like waves washing a beach, growing in volume until the call suddenly disconnects.
Prank call success, and we feel very liberated now. Okay, that was good. Pierre! There you go, we were Pierre for a second. Perfect. A dead phone, a smashed receiver, like someone hung up too hard. Maybe that was the phone that we used when we were drunk. It is quite possible. Where are we on this side? We are... Okay, we're in the church segment. We're exploring where I said I wouldn't. This is definitely the church. We're exploring where I said I wouldn't. The sign reads St. Brune 1147. Dusty pews in the shadows. Many seem to be missing. An altar shrouded in dark, or something like that. It's too dark to tell. Okay, gonna just pick up some of this. Recycling waits for no Kim, you know? You feel the shadow of a very large building fall on you, almost as if you are currently standing in the shadow of a very tall building. Oh, more bottles and many thoughts over the other side. Before you, a drawbridge can only be lowered from the other side. I'm hearing some music in the distance, and it's like an energetic music too. Someone's having a party without me. A school of fish huddle around the fence post, then scatter into the dark. How do we get over the other side? Oh, hang on, I've clicked on it. There we go. We are going for... Oh, there we go. Hang on. The ice here is thick enough to walk on. Nice, because I got bottles to pick up. This is just the recycling episode. This is where we clean up the streets. It'd be nice if I could like click and drag a surface area like with my mouse and just automatically pick them up, but we do it one by one because there's more effort, you know, in it, and you feel like you're doing hard work, you know. You're picking them up one by one because you're putting in the effort to clean these streets with a monetary incentive. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, there we go. I'm hearing that music now. It must have taken a lot of patience to do this. Don't knock it over, that would be so rude. Painted with pastels, someone's trying to bring cheer into the world. Oh, there's a rave going on in this tent, baby. Trash from some unending party. A pole screwed into the ice to keep the tent erect. And more tribalistic markings. This post is covered with little humanoids. Oh. When there is a party, I feel as if it is calling my name.
A pane of eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up.
That's a drawbridge, baby. Knock it down.
Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
What is this?
Looks like a makeshift bridge currently drawn up.
Okay.
When junior researcher Olari Tal invented eternite in the unprestigious Vartner Polytechnic Institute some 30-odd years ago, he thought it would last forever. Hence the name, eternite. The only lasting thing about it turned out to be its carcinogenic effect.
Push the Eternite over. The Eternite will not last forever.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Boonk. Nice. And now I can cross over. It wasn't a huge journey to get over here, but one nonetheless. This is someone's home away from home, just like yours. Alright, let's speak to the person who most likely is responsible for this tent party.
A shaggy-looking girl,
Acel.
in her late teens or early 20s, kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
What is she searching for?
Oh. Hello there.
Hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing.
She has commented that it was cold. I did see that dialogue.
Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Dear child, it is freezing. Where's your hat?
Huh?
I said you should have a hat on.
So should you.
I do have a hat on, actually. I'm wearing a beanie. I'm well equipped. I should, and I do, point at your hat.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah. It's nice. You should wear one too if you plan on staying outside in this weather.
Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat.
What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
17%, and that's with an authority of 5 of regain authority in her eyes. Is that kind of language really necessary?
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
There's a pained expression on her face. She'll answer your questions now. What's your name?
Acel.
Acel. And your surname?
Why?
Why indeed? Forget it.
Okay.
What's that device you have there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
Thank you, Encyclopedia. Yeah, any news on my wife's name? How about my mother?
No.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I love it when the game speaks back. How does that thing work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
Where'd you get the mic from?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Elysium.
What's the Elysium?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Elysium? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
That's cool. Who is this Arno guy?
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Elysium going kind of person.
Hey, I get down.
I don't know what that means.
I grind.
I don't know what that means either.
Fucking hell. It means I'm hip beyond my years, nor do I, but I have concrete evidence that I rock in the form of a rec tape player in a completely trashed hostel room. I'm going to say it means I'm hip beyond my years. Am I out of touch? No, it is the kids.
That's cool.
Looks like she doesn't know what to say. You're right. Time has deserted me.
Sucks, man. Ah! Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps?
I need to stop being a sorry cop. It bites me in the ass. Does this have anything to do with Contact Mic?
Yeah, I record stuff with it.
No, I mean the boxer Contact Mic.
No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up.
Contact Mic does record inside solid objects. You know, inside his fist in the boxing glove. You know, Contact Mike doesn't just beat people up. Contact Mike is a role model.
An entire litany spews forth.
Oh my... Okay. This one, which is not a compliment whatsoever. Not so much whatsoever. Yes, you heard right. You should try to be more like Contact Mike, a successful athlete and an inspirational figure who has overcome social, physical, and mental obstacles. On second thought, screw Contact Mike. He's not a champion, you are. Look at you here in the front of a saggy tent, picking your nose to drug addict music. The world of sports is in awe of your faith and dedication. I'm gonna go with the first one.
Man, you are one weird cop.
This isn't about me. This is about your lack of respect for one of boxing's greats, and for yourself.
What is it with you and this Mike guy?
She pauses. The question is rhetorical.
Okay, if it floats your boat, I'll be more like Contact Mike and less like me.
It's a thought. There's a thought involved. It's minus logic, conceptualization, and drama. It's time once again to return to the 20 things you like to say about Contact Mike, the boxer who is apparently a paragon of open competition. It really doesn't get any better than this. Any better. Both inside and outside the ring. Stop. Point at someone in the distance. Point your finger at him. He will point his finger back at you, vaulting an impossible gulf of finance and privilege too. It's a 15-minute thought too. Yes, that does indeed float my boat.
Uh-huh. Good on you.
Actually, I had some non-mic questions for you.
Okay.
What are you doing out here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
And what is it you're recording exactly?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
Wait, what happened to the headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
What for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
Were there some headphones at the pawn shop? I think there was.
Everything checks out, sire.
A drama failure? How dare I fail at the drama? And what are these recordings for? The cracks, the footsteps?
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
Just nod.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
She rubs her shoulders and looks around.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
Wow, we can give her the hat. We can start taking off the jacket to offer that as well. Should I give her a jacket that I might not wear though? Because I think I can't give her my RCM Commander's jacket, and I quite like this logical beanie. Let me see what else I got, because I think we can do that later. Now this is where a hat would come in handy.
Yeah, maybe you were right about the hat.
I do have a hat that you can have, but not the one I'm currently wearing. You said it's supposed to be a music place. What is?
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not going to be a Palaceum, that's for sure.
The boys?
Yeah. Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
There's a party going on in the tent, and it's not just a sales party.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room.
Stuff like what?
Music stuff, mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it.
Why not just leave some of it outside so you don't have to freeze?
That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold.
Okay. I had some other questions.
Go ahead.
Oh, more like Contact Mike now. And because of my red dye, it's an empathy check. The tape recorder lies on the ice like a discarded toy. Pick it up. Alright, give me a sec, because I can increase my empathy. Tell me more about this music place you've been planning in the church.
It's supposed to become, like, a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum.
Sounds disco, baby. I'm in.
Except that, yeah.
She looks at the old wooden church up on the poles. As a mean wind comes bellowing in, the 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek. What is anodic dance music?
You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Okay. Electronic instruments, like what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like. If it ever comes.
So you want to turn the church into a club?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, don't get me wrong, but you're a cop, right?
Yeah, why do you ask?
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
Yeah, alright, I'll talk to them.
They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else?
Interesting. Enough about the church then, I had another question.
Go ahead.
Okay, that's it for now.
Okay, bye.
She turns her attention back to the recording device. Let me get a little bit empathetic, and then also wear a hat that I can give. So I give her the orange bum hat, give her my Samaran conical hat. I don't think I'm ever going to wear this one ever again, because this one gives me +2 logic. -1 on perception, though, unfortunately. But this one might +1 logic, -1 suggestion. Do you want this? Do you want this hat? I don't know if it's going to keep you warm. The orange bum hat will keep you warm. +1 reaction speed, -1 rhetoric. Alright, let's put that on so I can give her the orange bum hat. Do I want to offer a jacket? There's a logic jacket. The disco ass blazer. Suggestion half light. Conceptualization, I quite like all of my jackets. I quite like all of my clothing. But we can at least give her the hat. She's already got a jacket on. However, I need to increase my empathy. So let me have a look at my clothes here. We got anything that does increase my empathy? I think my my book. What is the word? There we go. These empathy. What's the word that I'm looking for? There is a word, and I'm totally losing it. +2 drama with the bow tie. The ledger, the thingy. The ledger. It gives me +1 empathy. We don't need authority right now. We need to be empathetic. Alright, I think that's good. Look at us, all empathetic looking like. Cool. Let's try this.
Hello again.
This is now 72%. Let's give her the hat. So, out in the cold, what is it? Recording?
The musician. Anyway, I don't really know.
She looks at the recording device. The thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish. Very useless all of a sudden.
Give her your hat. Here. You need this more than I do.
Thanks.
There you go. Item lost, orange bum hat. So we do lose it. I was wondering if there was going to be a potential decline, but I wanted to make sure I was wearing a hat that I could feel like I would part with. There you go. And a beanie. You know, it might be a bit of a stinky one, but it's going to be a warm one.
Go ahead.
Okay. Gave her a hat, also gives us a bonus. 83% on the empathy. The tape recorder lies on the ice like a discarded toy. Pick it up.
The device is still warm from her touch, and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands.
I'm sorry you have to sit here on the ice, feeling miserable. At your age, or at any age, in this weather, waiting for it to get dark.
She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup.
The people who built this world intended it to be better for you, but they failed. It is easier to live in their failure with this by your side. Tap on the tape recorder.
The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
It's not a childish fantasy. It can be a real weapon against what's coming for you now.
What is?
Contact Mike. I'm once again reminded of how Contact Mike rose from the slums of St. Baptiste to the top of the boxing world, overcoming adversity and serious brain trauma. Nothing is coming. Nothing he wouldn't knock out in 3 rounds. The real fight is for the right attitude. I quite like that, how he brings it around full circle to the Contact Mike thing again, while being empathetic. But I also like the short and simple response. I'm going to go for the Contact Mike piece.
I can't believe this turned into another mic thing. Fine. Okay, I'll stick to it. I'll knock it out in 3 rounds.
Something changes between you two. She looks at you differently now. As an equal. A fellow human being.
That's what empathy does, baby.
So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer?
You said eating me? There's nothing eating me.
Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to.
I guess there is something that's been making my life hell.
What is it?
Oh, God. I think it's the plight of the working class. Everyone's just mooching off the entrepreneurial class, shackling the doers. People just keep putting their selfish interests ahead of the greater good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no one understands that sometimes you've got to make sacrifices for the sake of progress. It's all very distressing.
So, the thing that's been eating you is the slow pace of social progress?
No, that's probably not it, is it?
No, It sounds like you just got chick issues.
Now that you mention it, I found these letters I'd thrown in the trash. They might have something to do with it.
Okay. Why'd you think that?
They were written in a woman's hand, and oh boy, did reading them make me not feel good.
There you have it then, chick trouble. Not political after all. Who was she?
I don't remember.
Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this chica. Are you sure you don't remember anything about her?
I remember her scent, and that's all.
Wow, man. That's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you?
Yeah, I'm sure. Why would I have reacted so strongly otherwise?
How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing?
What do you mean by selective memory?
Man, when I get hurt, I just want to forget that shit, you know? That kind of selective memory.
I think it's more about me getting so unbelievably drunk I completely erased all memory of this world.
Yeah, or it might be that. This one time I did so much booze that I forgot too.
So much... Shit, what's a word to replace what I actually did? Booze.
It's obvious she's done more than booze.
Yeah.
Or it might just be some psych bullshit, you know? Königstein wank.
What is this Königstein wank?
You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich.
Thanks for the bullshit psych thing then.
You're welcome. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten though. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch.
Yes, but it itches really, really bad.
This is really nice. I like how seemingly just some random people that you come across in this game, in this world, give you a very insightful and in-depth long conversation about some cool stuff. It's very impressive, like I said, and I've said this before very early on, how real and human a lot of this is. Very good writing, very natural flowing conversations, which is hard to do in a game with dialogue where you have multiple options to choose a bunch. Conversation still flows very naturally, and I really like it. I really like it. It's cool. We've given her the hat. We've given her a little bit of an empathetic pep talk. It's 9:30, and we're about to go into a party tent. I was going to talk to some cryptozoologists. I was also not supposed to really endeavor to explore the church area, but let's go inside the party tent.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in the car right behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
Andre, the spiky hair, let's squeeze in. Nice, I like this. I'm gonna need to put my cool clothes on. Hold on, team. I'm gonna need to impress the kids. +1 drama, +1 electrochemistry. That's it. I don't need to be logical right now. I need to be impressive. Composure? Electrochemistry? Conceptualization, -1 suggestion. Physical instrument? I don't think I'm going to be very physically instrumental. Visual calculus. Some empathy. Perception on my boots. Let's go for the perceptive boots. Drama. More drama. On my bow tie, I'm well dressed, baby. And then savoir-faire. I've got a -1 on visual calculus, +1 on empathy, -2 on authority, -1 on reaction speed. I think I'm quite impressive. My binder. I don't need to be authoritative right now. I need to be cool and relatable and fashionable, and I've nailed all of those things instantly. Hell yeah, baby. Smells like sweat and laundry detergent. Plus a trace of ether. Canisters filled with what appears to be water. The label says distilled. Ah, they're speaking German too. A speaker, the big kinds they use for live music. A pile of nasal spray, brand name Nosafed Ultra. What a gang.
A young man with peroxide
Egghead
holds up a Harman Welshi tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secrets.
Hardcore!
Hardcore, egghead! Say nothing.
Hardcore!
Still say nothing.
Hardcore to the mega!
Hardcore to the mega. Say nothing.
Internally coherent!
And then we just go right into that. Still say nothing.
All core! All right! Yeah!
Say nothing.
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in the very real air of
Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega!
Hardcore! Ah!
So hardcore!
Is it though?
And then he stops. I was just thinking that a moment ago.
One mind, one spirit. There's no other world. There's no other life.
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
Solve the egghead puzzle, okay.
The young man with
This is hardcore.
Is it?
It's hardcore.
You're just gonna keep saying it's hardcore, aren't you?
Skibber-dee, skibber-danger. I am the rearranger.
Oh, okay, hang on.
This is the heavyweight jam.
Back to the heavyweight jam, says the young man with the tape player and the large boyadero boots. Lung-shaped trees sprout on his silver belt buckle.
Hardcore!
Is it?
It's hardcore!
You're just gonna keep saying it's hardcore, aren't you?
Skibber-dee.
Oh no, that was an end.
The rearranger.
Okay, we got this.
We're close.
We're close, says the young man with the tape player and large boyadero boots.
True, hard, full, core.
Is it?
It's hardcore.
I don't know what to say to that.
Skibber-dee,
Oh, okay.
we're close. True, hard,
Say nothing.
core.
But is it? I mean, really?
Yeah!
this young man adds a capital G before the H in his yegs and args. This produces a guttural Gotwaldian accent that makes it sound more animal, more in it.
Gotwaldian accent.
Or maybe it's not Gotwaldian. Maybe it's Oranese. Probably an homage to Oranje, where Arno van Eyck is from, judging by his name. Could you be listening to an Arno van Eyck creation right now?
So we can try and point out and identify the music or accentuate our G's and H's and go, YAG! So is this the famous Van Eyck I'm hearing?
You know about him?
He moves his mouth, but sound doesn't come out. His eyes are the size of saucers. Looks like you've rendered him speechless.
You know Van Eyck?
Yeah, I'm a major Eyckhead.
Wow.
The skinny wraith looks at you with some disbelief.
Wow, these portraits are incredible.
So am I! So am I!
He begins to shake his head so everyone would understand.
Oh, is that why they call you Egghead? Because...
Egghead to the mega! The K became the G!
Egghead.
The Advent?
That still didn't solve the puzzle.
We're close. True.
Let's keep going.
Hardcore! Yeah!
This young man, or maybe...
Yeah!
The Y to the E to the A 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 to the G to the H to the exclamation mark! Yeah!
He missed one A.
You missed an A there. I yelled mine with 6 A's, so you have to yell it with 6 too.
I'm the hard rhymer, the track attacker, the mic enforcer, the sixth checker. I am the law.
I gotta crack this egghead guy.
Close, true, hard, full, hardcore. Hardcore to the mega.
Alright.
Here comes the night.
Okay, not that path.
True, hard, full, hardcore. Yeah!
This young man, or maybe it's not...
The Y to the E, yeah!
Yeah! You missed an A there, but that's okay. I'm a pretty lenient cop.
It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice.
Okay. Maybe we keep saying nothing.
True, hard, full,
I gotta figure this guy out.
hardcore to mega, internally coherent.
This is not going to be our puzzle-solving thing.
All car, all right.
Please, please tell me, what exactly are you doing?
Gotta get the people going.
Why?
I'm the party boy. It's my job.
What is a party boy?
Hardcore party 25/7 beyond the winter's orbit style.
There is a place far away in Cutler, beyond a certain latitude known as Winter's Orbit, where there are 25 hours in a day. It is a tremendously cold place, abandoned to drunks and failed rock stars, full of Eternite, depression, and half-finished ski-flying hills. The Suru live there.
Thank you, Encyclopedia. Okay, there is still more. It feels like the closest we've gotten is by going, say nothing, is it really?
This young man, or maybe it's not.
Famous Van Eyck.
You know about him?
You know Van Eyck?
Your friend Estelle mentioned him.
Good, good.
The Advent?
Okay.
The Cloud. True. Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent. All car, all right.
He furrows his brow.
Hardcore. Ah!
No, but seriously, I'm a little worried it isn't.
The question is, what is the question?
That would have been good if I had asked you a question, but I didn't. Now it's just idiotic.
But there was a question?
Let me have a look at this. There has to be some way to talk to this person, you just haven't found it yet. It's definitely not about signs. What if you just try again and find your way out of this maze of things to say? We just have to keep trying.
The club. True. Hardcore to the internally coherent.
Let's try this. Hey, I was wondering if you knew who killed the mercenary hanging behind the Whirling in Rags hostel?
Good morning, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeko Kata, the place to be.
Why is this Yeko Kata the place to be? What does that mean?
Yeko Kata is a hardcore place.
Yeko Kata is an abbreviation from the Gradian term, Zone of Ecological Catastrophe, an agricultural megaproject in the extreme southeast of the Gradian Isola. It involved cutting-edge approaches to irrigation and a completely new type of fertilizer. An intricate system of irrigation networks pockmarking the earth, intermittent seas of phosphorus mud, ripped tarpaulin fluttering in the wind. A pair of molten rubber boots also comes to mind. All in all, a truly hardcore place.
Truly hardcore. God damn.
True, hard, full, core. It's hardcore. Skibberdees.
That one's a dead end.
True, hardcore to internally all core.
He furrows his brow.
Hardcore. Ah!
So hardcore.
Is it though?
It is.
What is it? I mean, really?
He tilts his head to the side like an owl. The question is, what is the question?
No, but seriously, I'm a bit worried it isn't.
So we just had to keep going all the way to the end again, and then he just says what we're gonna say. He frowns and starts bobbing his head back and forth once more.
Don't be alarmed. Everything is okay. He isn't actually worried. Everything is still super hardcore. What he probably means is, it could be even more so.
Are you a thought reader?
No nation, but transnation. No war, but class war.
So you're not a thought reader, you're a communist?
He's not a communist. It's just something he likes to yell. He picked it up from a tape jockey at the Elysium. She was a communist, though.
Yeah! With a rebel yell!
It's good you're not a communist anyway. You should be an ultra-liberal, best not to be a communist. Having extreme views on issues is detrimental to understanding all sides. The centrist perspective. Does that mean you're a thought reader?
Don't be a lunatic. Of course he isn't. Jermaine here just yells random things. Odds are, sooner or later one of them will come off as thought reading.
Yeah! Revolution imperative!
Unless you were thinking Revolution imperative right now. Anyway, I've had a similar thing happen with eggs yelling. I know what you mean.
You're right. I wasn't thinking that.
Hardcore superstar!
But why aren't you a communism, egghead? Communism is the truth.
I could be a communist. If you want that, do you want me to be a communist?
Join the cause, comrade.
Please don't turn him into a communist.
Oh yeah, turn him into a communist. Come on, it would be super.
The path is too hardcore. Be a communist, the future needs your help. Don't be a communist. Wait, what am I saying? Of course be a communist. He yells. You guess he is a communist now. Oh my god. Tell me something else, Egghead.
Communism rules the nation.
He looks at you with an almost impossibly wide, shining grin, looking to see if you approve. Right on, comrade luminary.
Here comes the sun.
You could swear you feel the bright future of the working classes, reflected off Jermaine Egghead's giant smile, and right onto your face. Revolution makes your toes curl in anticipation.
We're recruiting for the cause. Is your real name Jermaine?
Dark hardcore. Jermaine Egghead.
Basically, yes it is.
Okay. Why are there lungs on your belt buckle?
Lungs are for love.
L'amor, la compassion, l'autodiscipline.
Love.
He suddenly yells.
Lonely as I am, I'm not afraid. This strange, damaged feeling grows on and on. Cause I've never loved someone like you before.
A dopamine surge accompanies the words. It feels like electricity flowing down your scalp, dissipated into your neck. Feels good. Like a spark of life in that moribund sponge you call your body.
This is so good. You said you were worried. What do you think is wrong with the music?
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm still in love with the hardcore.
He turns pensive all of a sudden.
Sometimes I just feel like anodic music is in its infancy, you know? For example, take this Arno van Eyck jam I've been pumping for the last months. And isn't something holding it back from being hyper?
He thinks for a moment, then his expression clears.
It's like it's only ultra.
Ultra?
I think it's super hardcore, but you're right. It's not hyper hardcore.
If anything, it sounds a bit proto, like it's not fully formed yet. You might be a moribund alcoholic and a failed cop, but you are pretty certain a thing cannot be both proto and hardcore.
It's super hardcore.
Fuck yeah, I knew it.
He seems sure, but you are left with the nagging doubt you might have overestimated the hardcoreness of that jam.
Goddamn. Alright. Goodbye, Egghead.
Alright! Here comes the night!
That was quite a conversation piece with only one of these lovely gentlemen. My god. Noid, what's up?
Go speak to Andre. I'm just annoyed.
A strangely dressed young man says without looking up from his toolbox. What if I want to speak to you first? I'm going through the background characters before the main event.
I suck at socialising, man. If you go speak to Andre, I'll have time to tune in, get a reading on your sign.
Before he's finished talking, he's already turned back to his tools. Alright, I'll do that.
The young man picks up a thin metal saw blade and nods.
The young man picks up a thin metal saw blade and nods. Alright, Andre, let's talk.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Polite, Andre. Shake his hand.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
Noid?
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
Egg!
Oh, I accidentally pressed space twice, and Egghead. Egg! The tape player high above his head continues to blast what is probably anoidic music.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now,
Burger?
doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
A Cell Burger. Well, we got a Cell's last name without having to pressure her for it. Wait, how many music venues have you organised?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
Many in the pipeline.
That means they haven't set up a single one yet.
I know that. Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth.
I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
Interesting. There's no need, the place is pretty bad.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church. And I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended. Dopeheads!
Jopeheads?
Burnouts.
Burnouts? Hardcore? He angrily spits on a screw, then starts cleaning it.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol.
Strike that! The world! And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there were the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
What kind?
The spooky kind.
What exactly do you mean by spooky?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge. Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
I'll look into it. Tell me more.
Alright, man.
Of course I'm going to help Ravers start a nightclub.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchange giddy looks.
What's the status of the church? I haven't gotten inside the building yet.
I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. A padlock. It's a temporary fix. Just something to contain the situation. I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
How long have those people been locked in there, right? What about the key?
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key. All right.
And who would have thought, out of everything that I prepped my clothing for, that the thing that I would need is reaction speed? I'm like literally trying to put myself together as a cool, calm, and collected individual who could connect with these lovely human beings. And my reaction speed! Oh no. Be the cool cop. Catch the keys as it flies towards you. Wake yourself up. Prepare yourself for a catch. 42%. We got this. Easy. Let's go.
You sense the trajectory.
Yes.
Object makes a small ringing sound as
it
just the tiniest chime to your left.
That's right. I'm with it. I'm going to impress these youth. Catch it, baby.
Ka-ching. The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly.
Thanks, man. Play it cool.
The speed freak nods to you.
Baby.
A respectful nod. You proved something here.
God damn it. How long have those people been locked in there?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
Oh my god. How can you be sure they haven't starved to death?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
That number's dropping in the same sentence.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Andre, do you know what involuntary manslaughter means?
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I'm at least 80% sure they're alive. I mean, come on. Most people aren't ever that alive in their entire lives.
Alright, yeah, I catch your drift.
I knew you'd get it. You're one smart cop.
Oh yeah, the smartest. I get by. Now where was I with that padlock?
He nods attentively, ready to answer the questions of one smart cop.
Right, other questions.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
Okay. Who exactly are these people inside the church?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
Glimpses? Who are these people? Secret agents? Stealth operatives.
Interesting. You haven't even seen them and you want the police involved.
Well, there's also the machinery.
The machinery.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
Oh. I wonder if this might be why Lena's husband is missing. Did Lena's husband get... we haven't spoken to those people with those traps yet, looking for the snowmen. We don't know if that is Lena's husband and an assistant or something doing traps. That feels like a likely option, but it feels like these people might have locked up some innocents. We'll have to wait and see. Strange machines. It could be cryptozoology equipment.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
The feeling, yeah.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
But you haven't physically seen anyone.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church a couple of times, and we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kind of it.
A woman, potentially our lady driver, and that's another one. That's another possibility. What was that about something watching you?
Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Not human, as in a ghost. Do you know what he means?
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man.
A crab man?
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
Yep. Crabs do that, don't they, Andre?
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behaviour.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures, and not known for climbing walls.
Are you sure there was a crab man?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
Can you tell me more about this machinery?
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
With a small surge of PEA, alertness fills you, as if to say, this is a dark corner. Look behind it.
Jaded up some snuff station?
It means like one of those rich boy private radio stations, where you can listen to people getting killed on, then jerk off to it. Sick shit.
Not that we would know anything about that. Noid just likes to relay stuff.
He appears sincere enough, sire. You could, of course, be wrong.
We're getting derailed here. In short, you can tell to Noid about the machines. He'll tell you more.
So how can you be sure they're burnouts and dopeheads if you haven't even seen them?
Well, honestly, I can't, but I am.
This is a below-feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
Wow, you can't, but you do. I should add weaponized idiocy to my own repertoire.
Hey now, I'm 70% sure they're substance abusers.
That percentage, man, it's dropping.
Don't let all that technology fool you. Where do you think the drugs come from?
Alright, let's talk about something else.
Sure. What?
You mentioned some kind ecclesiastes own the church. Who are these people?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
mask it. Now humour me, Andre. What is the Founding Party?
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organisation.
And
they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericanassian Church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, made the innocentic system, no?
Now, Andre, in your opinion, would this ancient religious organisation who anoints the innocents want a club for anotic music in one of their churches?
Totally.
There isn't a trace of doubt in his voice.
The Pericanassian Church is about love. Anotic music is about love. I got love for my Pericanassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance. Love is hardcore.
Hardcore!
Unity.
Unity. Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
He turns the volume up, then looks at you with a knowing nod, as it's obvious you will now break into dance.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters.
No words, enjoy the beat, nod your head. I don't quite understand what you're talking about. What's a posse? I guess love can be pretty hardcore. I now understand it was lame of me to suggest otherwise. Anotic music is about love, and so is the Pericanassian Church. Proceed. No, this is too much. No sane organization would want this level of absurdity in their church. It's an abandoned church. Turn it into a rave club. I'm on board. I guess love can be pretty hardcore.
Oh yeah, it can.
He's coming around. You're getting it.
No words. Enjoy the beat.
Feels good.
Feels good. I don't quite understand what you're talking about. I don't quite understand what you're talking about. What's a posse?
Your posse's like your people, man. Like you got your cup posse. You look out for each other and you party together. That's a posse.
Nice.
And where is your posse, detective? Nothing comes to you. The world is silent.
That's because I'm doing some pretty cool hardcore stuff without Kim right now. We've gone through a lot with Kim leaving us behind. Sounds like you're just saying random things. Love, posse, make noise.
Are we?
He looks at you mysteriously.
Yeah!
The one with the large head really enjoys it when his friend gets mysterious. I now understand it was lame of me to suggest otherwise. Anotic music is about love, and so is the Pericanassian Church.
Yeah! Yakokata! The place to be!
He seems ecstatic that you share his vision of Pericarnassianism.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
His friend forms a fist with a screwdriver still in his hand, approvingly so.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving.
When am I pulling out my dance moves? I wanted to ask you about this tent full of equipment.
Yes. What?
I see you brought your own water.
Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even is running water.
And it's distilled too.
Oh.
He doesn't know what to say.
It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
What's with all the Nosafed?
The what now?
Point at the bottles of nasal spray in the corner. The Nosafed Ultra. You have a lot of it lying around.
Oh, the old Ultra.
He's like an actor, looking to the souffleur for his line.
I have a major sinus infection, stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe.
You sound fine to me.
Yes, that's all Nosafed's doing. Without the Noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosafed is the shit.
Can I have some? I have some nose problems too.
Sure. Here you go, officer. The Noser. Blast away.
Blast away. Hate to tell you, but it reeks of sweat in here.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Told you we have a smell problem.
He picks up a piece of telephone cord and inspects it. Wait, I also smell ether. Why?
Ether? I don't smell ether. Do you, Noid?
No.
It's mixed with a peculiar chemical scent, like laundry detergent.
He sniffs the air, then shrugs. It doesn't take a forensic scientist to guess it's drug-related. They look and act like the kind of guys who've done their fair share. However, their breathing is regular, their jaws stay put, and their pupils aren't dilated. So, not under the influence right now. At least, not under the influence of stimulant. That doesn't rule out hallucinogens, benzos, some depressants. How do you know all this?
Alright, enough of this.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
Okay. Convinced you're a smart cop is a -2. Unexplained nosophed, unexplained either smell. It's an 8% logic check, with logic at 5. We can retry it. Are we gonna... Look, no harm, no foul. We can retry it later. That's an unfortunate -2 on the whole smart cop thing. That's a shame. Maybe everything isn't quite as you've been told. Take a moment to analyze. Let's take an 8% chance to analyze. Oh!
Well, first of all, you're a smart cop. And a smart cop like you would understand if something wasn't quite right.
We can't always get 8% checks. But we can retry it later with some more logic. It was a godly check. What's the gist of it?
The gist of it is, they want to turn the church into a club. But a suspicious element has overtaken the building. It's very important to understand what the gist of things is. Always consult the gist before making up your mind. This is going well.
Thanks, Logic.
Plus, and it has to be considered, you can't invent the future of dance music in this smelly old tent. Imagine if you had the church. That settles it. Analysis complete. Their story checks out.
I do want the future of dance music to exist, so we've got to do it. That's it for now.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!
We'll be here. Okay. Well, that was our chat. That was our chat with the group in the tent. And with that one, guys, I'm going to bring this episode of Disco Elysium to a close. It's almost 11 p.m. on day 3. We've been roaming around the church area at night. We'll leave this equipment tent for now. And a kick drum pulse. The music is coming from somewhere on the ice. We'll have another chat to Acel about the Crabman and potentially check out this church, but also the cryptozoologists, if that's who they are, over in the distance as well, or the snowmen investigators. So we've still got more to do in the night time, and I think we'll get a bit of a late night sleep tonight because we have a free bed and a new room, so we can do a bit of reading to potentially internalize a thought if we'd like. But with that one for now, we will bring this one to a close and pick it up next time. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you then.